with discussing the answers. We'll start with question one, right? So question one, I'll just tell you the answer straight away because it's pretty straightforward, right? So children, uh, this is the Venn diagram they've given us, right? And they want us to shade the region A union B complement, right? So children, to get before we get A union B complement, let's try to get A union B. So children, A union B is going to be both sets A and B combined, right? So this shaded region here is set A union B. Children, the complement of that is everything outside it. The complement is everything outside. So everything outside of both A and B is going to be this region here, right? This is the correct shaded region is this, right? The red shaded region is the correct answer. So children, how many of you got this question right? Only 5 kids got it right. What about the others? Children, who got this right?
Any
Ah,
different answers? Sandun teacher will check any different answer because they must
yes.
have got it in a wrong way.
Yes, that's fine.
Children, it's okay if it's don't be like shy. Can you please tell us the mistake you have done?
At least send us a private message, will you? Right? We'll
Yes.
explain.
Where you all have shaded, then we can just do a revision.
Madam, I shaded the part with the intersection also.
Oh, intersection part is also belongs to B and A, no? A union B, darling. When you say A union B, it's both, no? A and B, everything. Okay? Did you get it, Anuja?
Yes, madam.
Yes.
Yes. So when they say complement Puta, you have to take everything outside that region, right? So what about the others, children? Yes. Yes, Puta, go ahead.
So I named every set, and so is it okay? So I named the set, and I took the answer, and I shaded the region.
Meaning,
correct.
Puta, I didn't understand what
No.
you
It
said.
means now for the whole set like A, and for the A set B, and for the intersection C, and for the B set D, and I named though I gave elements to that set, and then
That's
I took
correct.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
correct, Sandun teacher.
Right. Okay. I wasn't sure what he was saying. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. So we'll go to, so I think that should be okay. Any other questions, children? I hope all of you got this correct. If you didn't, can you let us know, please? Any questions? No questions. All right. Okay. So children, I'm going to go to the next question. If you have any questions, please ask, right? I will come back and explain, okay? Right, so let's move on to the next question. So this is an interesting question, children. It says that 55 people came to a restaurant for breakfast. Out of them, 35 ate bread and 26 drank tea. Two of them did not eat bread nor did they drink tea. And they've given a Venn diagram, and they want you to, in part A, they want you to complete the Venn diagram and include the given information. So let's have a look. First, I'll draw the Venn diagram. Yes, Puta?
In that question, so they said 35 ate bread and 26 ate tea. So
Yeah.
sir, it's not possible, no sir. Why 55 came and 35 of them said one thing and 26. 35
Right.
plus 20 is 50 no sir.
Right.
55 no sir.
Okay, we'll have a look.
There's
Okay.
So,
Now you will understand.
so this question was
Yeah.
asked by another person. While we were doing the paper, another Puta sent me a message and asked, "Sir, isn't there something wrong with the question?" So let's see if there is something wrong with the question or not. Is there anyone else who has the same problem? Can I know? Sandali?
Sandali.
Okay, Sandali as well. What about the others?
Oh, there's lot.
Ah, well, okay, right. So this is a good thing that I included this question in the paper. right? So children, let's discuss this, right? Because I've included a similar question in your homework sheet as well. Right now I'll explain how to do it. You have to do your homework sheet question properly, right? Now listen carefully. So the question says 55 people came to a restaurant. So the total is 55. And 35 ate bread. And 26 drank tea. And I think it says 2 didn't eat either. Right. So 2 of them, they didn't eat bread, they didn't drink tea. Okay. Right. Not either. It should be 2 of them didn't either. Okay. Now I can see the problem. The problem is if you take 35 and 26 and 2, if you add them, you get 63. Right? If you take 35 plus 26 plus 2, you get 63. But the question says 55 people came to a restaurant for breakfast. Okay, now let's see what went wrong here. Right? So children, when it says complete the Venn diagram and include the given information, the first thing you can include are the very obvious parts. Now it says that 2 of them didn't eat bread nor did they drink tea. That is the easiest bit. You can quickly enter 2. Right? Because the 2 people, they didn't drink tea, they didn't have bread. Right? That is clear, right? Now that we have that out of the way, let's talk about the other bit. Right? Now, even if we get rid of those 2 people, there should still only be 53, because 55 minus 2 is 53. But if you add 35 and 26, it's more than 53. So what happened? So children, when you read this question, see, this is how the human brain works, right? We segment information very quickly, right? So when they say that 35 ate bread, we think, okay, so these 35 ate bread and these 26 drank tea. No, children, that's not how it happened. Children, can't you eat bread and drink tea at the same time? You can, no? Right? I know I like to eat bread with plain tea. Don't you like to? Right? So you can do both, no, children. Right? So if you put some people in the middle who ate both bread and drank tea, right? Can't you get a total of 55? You can make a total. So you have to find the balance. Right? Yes, Puta?
I just answered first question.
All right. Okay. Right. So let's see again. Right. So the total, right, is going to be 55. That is correct. Right. So you have to find how many people ate bread and drank tea. So that section that goes in the middle. So let's see how we can calculate it. So children, now from the 55 people, right, let's subtract 2. That gives us 53. Right? So we have 53 people who should go in here. Inside these 2 circles, children, we should have 53 people because we removed 2 of them. 2 of them don't have anything. Okay. So, children, if you add 35 plus 26, right, you get 61. Right? You get 61, which is more than 53. So children, the reason for this is, right, because when you add the number of people who eat bread and you add the number of people who drank tea, you will multiply this, you will add this middle section, you will add it twice. Right? You will add it twice. Right? I'll try to explain that a little bit more. So think of it like this, children. Now, let's say, let's take 3 people, right? So let's take, there's Dilani teacher and there's me, and we'll say there is another 3rd person, right? So let's say that Dilani teacher drank tea, right? And let's say I ate bread. Let's say the 3rd person, let's say Dilani teacher's son. Okay, so Dilani teacher's son ate bread and drank tea. Okay, so now how many people ate bread, children? 2 people ate bread. I ate bread. Dilani teacher's son also ate bread. How many people drank tea? 2 people. Dilani teacher's son. So when you add them all together, children, aren't you, if you add the number of people who eat bread, 2 people. Number of people who drank tea, 2 people. Aren't you adding Delaney teacher's son twice? Do you get the picture? Right? You add this middle section twice, which is the problem. Right? That is the problem. So what you have to do is you have to subtract 53 from 61, children. Right? From 61, you subtract 53. Right? So that will give us 8. What that means is there are 8 people who ate bread and also drank tea. Right? There are 8 people who ate bread and also drank tea. Now, let's try to calculate the number of people who ate bread. Remember?
Bread,
eh,
bread
there are-
only.
Yes, bread only. Sorry, bread only. Yes. So how do you calculate the number of people who ate bread only? From 35, those who ate bread, 8 of them also drank tea. So you subtract that 8. So you subtract that 8. So from 35, when you subtract 8, children, you get 27. You get 27. Now tell me, children, 27 plus 8, don't you get 35? You get 35. So how many ate bread? 35 ate bread. Correct, right? Then from the 26 who drank tea, 8 of them also ate bread. So let's calculate the number of people who only drank tea. 26 minus 8, that gives us 18. Am I right? So what is 18 plus 8? 26. Now add and see, children. Now you add 27 plus 8 plus 18 plus 2. You will perfectly get 55. Is your problem solved?
I want to ask a question from them, Sandhu
Yes,
teacher.
Ilani teacher, go ahead.
Those who informed teacher, Sandhu teacher, that there's a mistake. Didn't you all answer this question? No. Because I just want to know whether you all didn't answer and then completed without answering this question. That's why I'm asking. Sandhu teacher, when they informed that there's a mistake, you didn't reply for it.
I did.
You
I
did.
did. I said that there can be people who did both.
All right. Okay. That means you gave a hint.
I did. Yes.
Okay. You gave a hint. Children, then at least from that, did you all manage to do something? You know, I want to get the mistake out. That's why. I'm a very, I like those type of things. The way you all think. Can you please come up and explain, like, tell us how you all did? Sandali? Sandali, are you there?
Yes, teacher, I just,
Did you answer the question?
since I was doubtful because they all add up more than 55, I just wrote 2 in the intersection point. Not in the, I just wrote
The
2,
outside.
but
Outside,
others I didn't write.
Okay. Okay.
So do you get it now? How to do the question?
Yes, I got it now.
What about the others? Children, if there is anyone who is still doubtful on how to do this question, can you please let us know? Or if this explanation is clear and you understood now, also let us know. Is this
Yes.
clear? If you understood it, let us know. If you didn't understand, also let us know. Can you send me some replies in the chat? Right? Okay, so some children are raising their hands. I'm guessing that those are the children who understood. Right? So children, can you also send me some replies in the chat and let me know so it was clear, understood or not clear? Okay, so I have one child who wants me to explain it again. Yes, right. He's so I okay, got it. Okay, so Putta, if you don't understand, you have to tell me, right? That's why I'm here. Okay, so okay, so there I got one student, Delaney teacher, who said that they want me to explain it again, so I will.
Okay.
Right. So children, let's think of this question again, right?
Yeah,
Now,
sir. Before that, Sandhu teacher, just explain them. When they say bread, and then when they say tea, that means this whole circle part. And when they say only this part which is without the intersection.
right.
The word only comes only, you have to worry about that. Now they think everything as 35.
Yes, that's
That's
correct.
why, yes.
That's correct. Right. So children, let's talk about that a little bit. So the question is 55 people came to a restaurant. Now children, this part that I'm explaining is useful to all of you. So please listen, right? So there are 55 people who came to a restaurant. Out of them, 35 ate bread and 25 drank tea. 2 of them didn't eat bread, nor did they drink tea, right? So how do you fill in this Venn diagram is the question. Okay. Now, children, when they say that someone ate bread, right, or this many people, 35 people, I think, yes, 35 ate bread, children, that goes into this entire circle, not just this half moon shape, not just that, right? That is the region who only ate bread. But when they say that 35 ate bread, children, they are talking about the entire circle, the entire section of who ate bread and who may also have drank tea with bread. That is everything. So children, that means when they say 26 people drank tea, they mean this entire circle is 26, right? That's what they mean. Okay, so children, you have to be very careful, right? If they say 26 drank tea only, then they are talking about this part. But they don't say that. They are saying 26 drank tea, which means they are talking about this entire circle, right? I hope that's clear. Okay, so children, now if 35 ate bread and 26 drank tea, now that is clearly above 55 people, right? So what you have to do is you have to try and figure out how many people ate bread and drank tea. In other words, how many did both, right? How many did both? You have to figure, if you figure out how many did both, then you can easily solve the question, right? So first thing, like Sandali did, what you have to do is you have to write 2 on the outside. That's the quickest thing you can do, because you know that 2 people didn't eat bread, didn't eat tea, didn't have tea, right? So that has to go on the outside. Then children, we have 53 people left, because 55 minus 2, you have 53 people left, right? Then children, you know that in total, right, you know that in total you have to have 53 people inside both circles, right? Inside the total, inside both circles has to be 53 when you remove the 2 people who didn't have anything. So then children, what you do is you add the number of people in the question, it says ate bread, then you add the number of people in the question that says had tea, and you get that number, which is 61. So this is more than 53. The reason it's more than 53 is because this shaded region, the 8 people in the shaded region have been counted twice. So children, I'll show you this a bit clearly. Now have a look at this, children. If I add 27 plus 18 plus 8, this will be 53, children, right? 27 plus 18 plus 8 is 53. But if I add another 8, that will be 61. Do you see how I'm getting this 61? I am adding an extra 8. I'm adding an extra 8. Right? So if not for this extra 8, I would get the proper number of total people inside the 2 circles. So what I do is from 61, I subtract 53, and that will give me the repeated amount, which is 8. Right? So then once I fill in 8, I can find the other numbers, children. Because remember, out of the 35 who ate bread, 8 also drank tea. 8 also drank tea. So that means from 35 you subtract 8 and you have 27 remaining who only ate bread and didn't drink tea. Who only ate bread. Right? Then children, out of the 26 who drank tea, 8 also ate bread. You can remove that. You can subtract the 8 and you get 18 who only drank tea. So that is how you can add 27 and 8 and 18 and 2, and that totals to 55. Right? So children, is it clear? So there was one Dua, I think, who told me that it wasn't clear. So Dua, did you understand it this time? Children?
Any problem? Children, if there's anything that you cannot understand, please let us know.
Yes.
They
Yes,
were
Anuj.
55 games together, and they told two people didn't eat tea, no bread. So that means we should remove two of them and take the other 53 to the circles, no sir?
Yes, that is correct.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So Dilan teacher, the Dua who asked me the question, is also saying it's clear to her as well. So I think this is okay now. So children, I have entered a similar question into the homework sheet. So make sure you do that question carefully. Okay. Right. So we'll leave this aside and we'll go to part B. So part B, children, they're saying that there were 24 males in the group. So now they're adding another subdivision. There were 24 males in the group. All of them ate bread and 5 of them drank tea. Redraw the Venn diagram and include this information. So children, to include this information, I am going to add another circle. Right? So I'm going to make this a 3-circle Venn diagram. Right? So let's get the circles out first. Okay. Now children, I have a new Venn diagram, right? So this is the number of males, number who ate bread and number who drank tea. Okay, now let's try to fill this in, right? So children, they're saying there were 24 males in the group and all of them ate bread, right? And 5 of them drank tea, right? Now children, that means this entire circle, the total of the entire circle here should be 24. That means the number inside this M should be 24, right? And out of them, children, they all ate bread, right? They all ate bread, meaning this section has to be 24, right? Because all of them ate bread. But it also says that 5 of them drank tea. That means, children, 5 of them ate bread and drank tea, right? Because all the males, they ate bread. So definitely they have eaten bread, and 5 of them have also drunk tea. So that means, children, this should be 5. And since there were 24 males in the group and all of the others ate only bread, right? From 24 you subtract 5 and you get 19 males here, right? So there are 19 males who only ate bread. There are 5 males who ate bread and drank tea. And remember, children, there are no males who didn't eat anything. There are no males who didn't eat anything, and there are no males who didn't drink only tea, who drank only tea, right? So all of the males, it says clearly they ate bread. Out of them, 5 also drank tea. So this is how you fill the male circle. Now if you add all these numbers up, children, you get 24 males in the group. All right. Now you can also tell another thing from this. You can tell that the 2 people who didn't eat anything, who didn't eat bread and didn't drink tea, they are female. The 2 who didn't have anything are female children, right? And now you can draw comparison between the 2 like this, children. So you know that the total number who ate bread and drank tea is 8. So that means here also the total number who did both should be 8. right? So that means, children, this number is going to be 3, right? There's going to be 3 females, right, who drank tea and ate bread, because 5 plus 3 should give us 8. Is this clear, children? Right? Then let's move on from there as well. So I think I got a question, is it? Okay, so I have a question, Dilana teacher. I think you can answer this a bit better than me. So they're asking, should we write the zeros in the other parts?
No, because female things you can write. No, now when you say bread, the whole circle bread, it has 35.
Mm.
So at the moment here it's 19, 5 is 24, 27. So 8 can be written in the blank space. Bread place female bread. Now, if you take
Yeah.
bread is eaten by 35,
Yeah.
right?
No, Dilana
And
teacher, what I mean is, the
yeah,
question is whether now you can see I've written 2 zeros.
all right, okay.
So the
No,
question is
you can just,
leave it blank.
no need to put zeros, just
Right.
leave it blank.
Right.
But the
So,
rest of the things you can complete. You have to
complete, yes.
complete.
So,
Yes.
Puta, the reason, so that was a Dua who asked me the question. Dua, the reason that I put the zero is because then I know that that part is done. I don't
No,
have to
that
think
is for
about
the
it.
explanation, darling. Actually, sir did it for the explanation to show that you
Yeah.
all don't have to enter anything.
Enter anything.
But in the exam, don't put anything, just leave it blank.
Right. Okay. So, children, then we can go on to the part where we have people who only ate bread.
Not
25.
only. It's not only, isn't it?
No, I mean, Dilana teacher, to finish this half moon part.
Yeah, that's what. Not only female who ate bread.
Yes, children. The females who ate bread. So, children, the number of total people who had bread is 27, who only bread. So, out of those 27 children, 19 were male, right? That means 27 minus 19, right? So, we have 8 people who had 8 females who had bread only, right?
Yeah, if not, they can consider as 35 and already 1953 is 27. So 8
Yes.
you can take because that
Yes.
whole circle gives you 35.
Yes, so children,
That
you can
way-
think of it that way as well. I'll just share it and show you, right? So what Dilana teacher is saying is that you can consider the entire circle which has 35. So from the 35, you have already filled the 19, 5 and 3. You can subtract those and you get 8 remaining, right? Okay, so children, the final part, again, we have this section left. So we know that this section should have 18 in total, right? So there are no males who only drank tea. So that means all of the people who only drank tea are female. There we go, right? So this is the Venn diagram which will be the answer to part B. Okay, right. Then, children, it says shade the subset which includes the females who ate bread and drank tea, right? So the females who ate bread and drank tea are going to be, oh, sorry, this section here, right? These are the females who ate bread and drank tea both, right? So the 5 of them were male who ate bread and drank tea. Without them, there are only 3 others, right? So part D, find the number of females who did not eat bread. That's a good question, right? So you can see out of all the females, there are 8 who ate bread only, and there are 3 who ate bread and drank tea. So that means, children, out of all these females, there are 18 who drank tea only, and 2 who didn't have anything. So that means, children, the answer to this last part is going to be 18 plus 2, 20. Right? There are 20 females who didn't have bread. Right? Children, that is the end of this question. Any questions before we go on to the last part? Any questions about this one? Any questions, children?
I think there is no question.
Okay. All right. So children, will go on to the last one. So we are almost out of time, but I think we should be able to finish quickly, right? So this question, actually I'll use this Venn diagram. Right. Okay. So for this Venn diagram, children, we have Yal and Sigiriya, right? Now, this one, children, can you see? This question says the number of tourists who have been to only Yala is 75. Now, this is very clear. When it says only Yala, you can clearly write it here, right? It doesn't say Yala is 75. It says only Yala is 75, right? So that means you know it should be in this section. It doesn't belong to the middle, only Yala, right? Then it says the number of tourists who have been to both Yala and Sigiriya is 120. So that means you can fill 120 in the middle, right? And the number of tourists who have not been to either place is 36. So that has to be on the outside, right? So this is the answer to part A. So children, did you get this for part A? Can I see your hands? Who got this, who filled these in properly for part A? Raise your hands and let me know, children. Good. Okay, so a lot of you have got it. All right, very good, children. Put your hands down. Then part B, shade the subset which contains the tourists who have been to Sigiriya only. So children, Sigiriya only is going to be what region? Sigiriya only is this region here, right? So without Yala, just Sigiriya. We don't know that region yet, right? Then it says the number of tourists who have been to only one of the above two places is 110. The number of tourists who have been to only one of the two places is 110. Find the number of tourists belonging to the shaded region. Now you can do this, children, because see, it tells you very clearly that the number of tourists who went to only
Sanam
Yala.
teacher,
Yes.
yeah, we'll ask the students to give the
Yes.
answer, because I want to see whether they understood the previous question.
Yes. Children, what is the answer to part C?
A hint is only. You
Yes.
have to be very careful about only. Can you tell the answer? Can anyone?
I
Sandali?
think they're scared of getting it wrong, maybe.
Never mind. If it's wrong, no problem. If it's wrong, it's very good. Sandali?
Children,
Anuja? Try. How do we get that from the information? What is this 110? Anuja?
okay, so I have the right answer from one Puta. He sent it to me through a message.
Anuja, can you try? 110 means what?
I can do it, madam.
All right. Okay.
Rahima can't.
Unmute. How is that possible?
That is not allowed.
Oh, you should be able to unmute. I have given access to all of you to unmute.
How about Sandali? Just give a try. Sandali?
Okay, so another Dua has given me the right answer. Okay.
Miss,
Yes. Yes,
I
Sandali,
got-
tell.
120 minus 110 is 10. That's the answer.
Wait, I will tell you. They have mentioned the number of tourists who have been only one of the above two places is 110. Only one place is 110. Only
Sandali
is
Dua.
there.
Sandali Dua, these
Yes.
120 people, aren't they the
Have
people
both-
who went to both?
Both places. That's
They
why it's
are.
in the intersection. We don't have to consider that because they have already visited both places. 110 according to the question, the number of tourists who have been to only one of the above two places is 110.
So only one is either this one or the number that
Or
should go here, right?
only to Yala or only to Sigiriya? So only to Yala we know. Then how do we get the only to Sigiriya?
110 minus 75.
Very good, very good.
Correct.
Very good.
So you take 110 minus 75,
75.
right? So children, the
correct.
answer is 35. So a lot of you did give me the right answer. So very good if you got it right. Good. Good job. Okay.
Yes, children, even if you cannot understand the first time, don't at once go to answer. Read it for the second time. If you don't get it, read it for the third time. Sometimes this language issue is coming. So you have to be very careful and answer and try to get it.
That is correct.
Okay?
That's correct. Yes. And children, I just want to add one more thing. Now, when I'm making these questions, we make these by taking questions from local O-level questions. So in local O-level questions, I have noticed there are a lot of grammatical
Lot of
mistakes,
English.
right?
Yes.
There are a lot of bad English. So you have to be exceptionally good at understanding the question. Because when I give you these questions, I correct the English, right? So you have to be very careful, right? You have to make sure you understand it very well what they're asking, right? So a lot of
Yes.
grammar errors. Okay, so children, that is how you get the answer. Final part, part D. Find the number of tourists who have not been to Yala and express this in set notation. Okay, good question. Who can give me the answer? Final question for the day, and then we are done. So who can give me the answer? Who has the answer for the final question? Children, why is everyone so quiet? So if you all got some answers, let me know. At least send me a
I
message.
could
Yes.
do the paper, but I think that the answer is couldn't go to Yala is a shaded part and the outer part.
Very good.
Yes.
That is
Yes.
correct. That is
Very
correct.
good.
So while Anujaputa was answering, a lot of others also sent me messages with the right answer. So very good, children. That is absolutely correct. So remember, not Yala. Who have not been to Yala is everything outside the circle of Yala. So you can see the
Yeah.
circle of Yala has 75 and 120. Outside the circle of Yala is 35 and 36, just like Anujaputa said, right? So you can
Yes,
add.
Anujaputa, but you have to tell in the set notation, okay?
Yes. So children, it says very clearly in the question, express this in set notation. So children, you remember the number of elements when you're expressing, you use the n, right? So not Yala is the complement of the set of Yala, right? Not Yala is complement of y is going to be 35 plus 36, which is 71. Children, can you raise your hands who wrote the notation correctly? How many of you wrote the notation correctly?
Chalia,
Good. Very good.
somebody. Yes.
Good. Right. So our children have done quite well. Very good. Okay. So children, now this is the end of today's class questions sheet.